We got to talk about this Kansas situation first and foremost, man.
Gotta
I
address
have
that.
a
Uh,
I I've got a love hate when it comes to fans.
hey, Jax,
Um,
I don't know if everybody's gonna read it. Just
Yeah,
give us some synopsis.
I'm
yeah.
I'm gonna give you a little.
Cliff
Okay.
Notes.
Okay, so Kansas, obviously everybody knows Kansas started out number one in the country this year, right? Um, so they just lost to Texas Tech. It's their third home loss, which is actually it's crazy, but it's tied for the most that under self. And so after the game, I guess Zeke Mayo, who's actually, I mean, in my opinion, probably their best player, I guess posted some things, some messages that he got from some fans, and I'd read them, but my vocabulary doesn't really use some of these words that are used. So um, let's just say
Yeah.
they're not the nicest.
Yeah.
For instance, there's one that was basically somebody saying praying that you die,
Hmm.
which is absolutely crazy. But anyways, Zeke Mayo basically went on, posted the screenshots. Also posted an apology about him struggling. He didn't play very well. He had like 5 points, like 1 for 7
Mm.
from the field. Which for me, I'm like, there's no need to apologize, bro. It's basketball. You have bad games. But then Bill Self and their AD also came to his, backing, and that was what that picture was. Basically, Bill Self saying that there was basically a bunch of people that could have changed the game. It was still a good game. At the end of the day, Texas Tech is a top 10 team, and so on and so forth. But I think it opens up the conversation about how, for one, sports betting, I think, is a massive player in all of this.
Yeah.
But then, two, how fans feel like they have the freedom to speak to these players like they're not humans.
Hmm.
So, TP, I'll let you kind of start it off, man.
Couple things. First, you could tell Kansas has never been through this before. For them to
Facts.
put out a fucking statement,
They're struggling.
From their coach.
what the hell?
From their coach is crazy.
I respect that, to be honest.
Are you saying because of what he was going through?
I respect Bill Self coming out and having his players back.
I think the only reason I say about that, we've all dealt with that shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know the mental state Mayo is in. Maybe he's in a real, real bad funk. And then at that point, I understand it. But this is nothing new.
No,
I got
I think
cooked
it's
at
getting
Carolina.
ugly in Kansas, and I guarantee Zeke's not the only one that's getting these messages.
Oh, no, not at all.
Kansas one is struggling. I think maybe it's like a, rallying cry for self, saying like, "Hey man, like I know we're struggling, but I'm
Got you.
still gonna coach you. I still got your back." To the fans,
Sick.
betting whatever, that's cool. If you lose, you bet.
Yeah,
So
no
you
one forces
lost.
you to
Nope.
do that.
Nobody
So
told
you're-
you to.
So you're So you're a loser.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you write somebody because you lost a bet,
Mm-hmm.
you're a
the nu-
loser,
Call the number.
right? The other thing is like you said, Jay, and I always say it is like, I've had bad days as a dad or a husband or in my work or whatever. So who am I to just attack a kid for having a bad game? Like, what are we talking about, man? Like, that's my thing. It's like these dudes stand up behind screens
Yeah.
and act like they're like perfect. It's like, bro, shut up.
It's a difference between criticizing a guy on his game, but then demeaning them in the way that those tweets, bro, like
These are-
people say the
Crazy.
Like,
wildest
imagine
shit I
someone
have
just
ever-
coming to your corporate job and just heckling you because you fucked up an accounting number or some shit.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It's like, bro, that doesn't.
It's sick and it's sad. Maybe with social media now, with guys actually putting this out there. Granted, the shit not changing because
No.
they're going to continue to hide behind these screens.
Because half of those people are probably drunk when they're tweeting.
Exactly, they're going to say what
when
they need to
lost
say.
money.
It's
Yeah.
that just shows how bad it really is, though. Like it's gotten really bad.
bro.
Uh,
He's a
man, look,
hometown kid too.
yeah,
Oh
he's a hometown
That's
kid.
even
He
shit,
crazier.
just
that's even worse.
he just
Yeah, that's even
transferred
crazier.
in. Yeah, he just
I didn't know he
transferred
was
in. I
from
mean,
Lawrence though.
Being from
that's
Lawrence.
that's the thing. I'm like, it's okay as a fan. Like you said, it's not gonna change, right? Fans are
Mhm.
always gonna be. You gonna have good fans. You gonna have bad fans. It's never gonna change. But that doesn't take away from the fact that this is at the end of the day, a kid, right? That
Mm-hmm.
is, it's not like he's purposefully going 1 for 7. Now, if he's
Mm-hmm.
purposefully going 1 for 7, then he's going to be in the headlines for, you know, a lot more bigger issues. But I
He get
think
sued.
to Tyler's point, I like the fact that both Bill Self and the AD came out in support. I kind of, I was expecting Bill Self's like comments to be more like towards Zeke almost.
Yeah.
Um, it was almost like he started going towards like I don't want to say an excuse, but like giving reasons and things like that for them playing bad. Um, at the end of the day, you lost. Texas Tech was a good team. They came in, they beat you. Boom. That's all that needs to be said. And then let's talk about okay, you know what? Zeke put this out, and now everybody's seeing this, so we've got your back. Like Theo, to your point, if Zeke didn't put this out, I don't think we would have seen comments from Bill Self and AD.
That's my
Because
only thing though. Like, do you still address it? Are you still doing that if he didn't put this out there? Right?
Probably not.
Like what ultimately I agree with you, Justin. The whole comment, the whole thing should have just been like, yo, don't attack my team like that.
mm-hmm.
I don't need an excuse why you lost the game. We know why you lost the game.
I think to both you guys, I agree with both of you. I'm saying what I think from Bill Self's standpoint, if I'm putting myself in the coach's shoes, I think he took this opportunity, right, to one, kind of try to relieve a little bit of pressure off Kansas
Feel that.
when they go, now that, because Kansas is Kansas. Kansas is the blue, I mean, Carolina. I mean, Carolina's dealing with the same things. I would say Kansas is dealing with way worse because Kansas people expected them to be better. I think it was an opportunity for him to, in my opinion, as a coach, try to push restart. Try to. Not saying they will, but try to push restart. They got a big game tonight. Push restart, and let's see.
They're losing that too, though.
You just never know. Like, you go into Houston and win, and all of a sudden, now everything, it's like, okay, let's go.
But this is.
I hear you, though.
This is the tough part about it. And like
You're a
I said,
Carolina guy.
this is just the debate though. Like, do you just make it worse though?
No,
Because if they get blitzed
it can't
tonight,
get worse.
They getting blitzed tonight, by the way.
if they get fucked up tonight, I think it makes it worse.
I don't think it can get worse at Kansas, Justin. Right now, can it?
Yeah, I mean,
He said, "Yeah."
Like,
I think it just makes. I think it just amplifies it, and you would know because you lived there, didn't you?
no, my family did, but I've been around in Lawrence, and it's fanatics. Like North Carolina fans are crazy, but like Kansas, I mean,
Different level.
Lawrence is crazy. But yes, I think it is one of those like almost like a motivation type thing. Take the pressure off of the guys. Like, I'm still gonna coach. I'm still gonna have your back. This sort of thing, and that's why I wanted it to be more towards like just Zeke. Because when you start talking about, like we played good basketball and, it was a good basketball game, which it was. Don't get me wrong. It was a good basketball game. But when you start going into that, then for me, that's where it starts shifting off of the real issue here. And that was Zeke Mayo's, like, people coming at him. You know what I'm saying?
1000%.
But at the same time, to Tyler's point, you put yourself in a coach's shoes, like, hey, this is the perfect opportunity to say, all right, fellas, like, I've got you. I need y'all to, figure it out. Like you said, I mean, you're playing the number 4 team in the country, number 3 team in the country in Houston tonight. So it's like, I don't think it makes it worse if they get blitzed by Houston, because I think there's more awareness to that aspect of things. But heck, I mean, they're like you said, they're in the same situation as North Carolina. Nobody's really talked about them too much. But you start number one, and now you're unranked, and you're about to go further and further if you don't beat this Houston team. It's gonna get interesting. I'll tell you that much.
1,000%. 1,000%.
But I think it's just sad for the from the fans' perspective, man. Like I'm a fan of the Cowboys, right? Like I'm a fan of UNC. I'm a fan of like certain players, right? And heck, I live in Tennessee where it's legal to bet, right? So I'm around people that bet all the time. And sometimes when I hear people talk like about certain people that didn't ask you to put money on them, it's like, where are we losing reality, right? Like nobody, like people will come up to me and say, "Man, bro, y'all won me a lot of money in 2017." And I'm like, "Well, cool, but like I didn't ask you to do that, right? Like congrats, but like I didn't put out a PSA like, "Yo, put money on us. We might win it in 2017," right?
And
Like
the difference is, Justin, you played at a professional level. Like you played at the highest level where you're going out there, dude, we out there trying to do the best we possibly we not worried about your damn parlay, bruh.
But the reason
I
that
could care less.
I guarantee it is like you got people that bet and like they bet, but they still got money in the bank where it doesn't affect the next day.
Exactly.
It's the dudes that
Bet
it
in the
affects the
house.
next day. So
Why
to
are you
you
betting?
guys, you're a
Call the
loser.
number.
Yeah.
Stop.
you have
talking-
bigger issues.
Yes. Like,
you need to pay your mortgage with
You're
that
trying
money that
to
you
you're
are
trying
putting.
to beat the system instead of
Yes.
going to get a job.
Right.
Yeah.
You're trying to just bet and get a quick come up.
Exactly.
Like, bro,
Yes.
just
Yeah, you
Like,
know,
come on.
and it's great. Just give that $100 to your mom for your little rent, and then eat some Kraft mac and cheese sometimes. I don't know, but stop.